Plumber. 636-236-2190.
News Radio KYRO traffic. Just make sure to give yourself some extra time at this point toward Lake St. Louis on the westbound side of 64. And that is quite very heavy from before 364 around toward I-70. And adding to that, there's accident cleanup work going on at I-70. At least part of the roadway is blocked off with that. You're quite very heavy on I-70 going west, approaching Highway 79. Otherwise, run better toward Main Street and no major issues around toward Highway 61. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
Live from the Gateway Fiber Studios, online at gatewayfiber.com. News Radio 105.3, 1280 KYRO Troy. It's 5 o'clock in the Heartland.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Tom Burgundy. A deadly school shooting in Widener, Georgia, about 45 miles northeast of Atlanta. 4 students were killed, numerous others injured. Georgia Bureau of Investigations Director Chris Hosey says the shooter was another student at Appalachia High School.
He is a 14-year-old student here at the high school. Again, he has been taken into custody. He will be charged with murder, and he will be tried as an adult.
No word yet on a motive. Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in New Hampshire, unveiling a new economic proposal. Harris says she wants to make it easier to start a new business, increasing the tax deduction for a startup.
Part of my plan is we will expand the tax deduction for startups to $50,000.
Former President Donald Trump hosts a Fox News town hall tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're a proud American, that means if someone comes after your family, you gotta be ready. That's why you need the Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit from My Patriot Supply. Their Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit comes jam-packed with 33 varieties of filling and flavorful meals. Not only does that include creamy chicken-flavored rice, old-fashioned Italian spaghetti, and savory cheesy broccoli soup, but you'll also get a bonus protein kit with diced beef, flavorful chicken chunks, and 3 varieties of beans. The Emergency Food Kit provides a whopping 2,500 calories per day to keep you well fed and ready for anything. It's your solemn duty as an American to protect your family without waiting for handouts. And that starts with emergency food that you can depend on. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to save $300 on your Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit. My Patriot Supply offers free shipping too. Get your Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit now at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hey everybody, this is Sarge.
And this is the Burgundy.
You're on Newswatch Late Edition on News Radio KYRO.
Stay tuned. Coming up at 18 after, we'll be back with all of East Central Missouri's news of the day on Newswatch Late Edition.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Moore. I bet the deadline is here for both sides to submit final filings on a motion to vacate the murder conviction and death penalty of Marcellus Williams. He was convicted and sentenced to death in 2001 for the 1998 murder of Felicia Gale, a former St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter. St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell has filed a motion to vacate, saying DNA evidence found on the murder weapon does not belong to Williams. Attorney General Andrew Bailey, meanwhile, argues that the knife was mishandled years ago and Williams cannot be eliminated as the killer and wants the execution to proceed. Drug overdose is the number 1 cause of death among adults age 18 to 44 in Missouri. Director of the State Department of Health and Senior Services, Paula Nicholson, says lawmakers recommended a focus on what she calls syringe service programs.
Current data indicates that this is an effective harm reduction strategy that reduces the impact of substance abuse, prevents the spread of communicable disease, and can be an excellent interface for those seeking treatment. Such programs have often been plagued by misunderstanding.
The deadline is here set by Gray Media for candidates for Missouri governor and U.S. senator to agree to televised debates.
So far, the only commitments to debate on TV have been made by Democrats, Crystal Quaid in the governor's race and Lucas Kuntz in the Senate race. Republican nominee for governor Mike Kehoe told KMOV-TV in St. Louis that he's focused on taking part in a political forum on September 20th in Springfield, hosted by the Missouri Press Association. The campaign for incumbent Republican Senator Josh Hawley forwarded Gray Media an invitation sent to Kuntz's campaign about holding a debate at the Missouri State Fair, which didn't happen. Despite the deadline, Gray Media and the League of Women Voters both say they're willing to schedule debates if the Republican nominees agree to take part.
That's Marshall Griffin reporting. A man in southern Missouri's West Plains has accepted a plea deal in the drowning death of his 6-month-old daughter. Levi Koffel is set to be sentenced later this month. This is Missouri Net.
Hey, you. Yes, you. We've got something important to share because we believe everyone deserves support. 988 is for you. Whether you're dealing with thoughts of suicide, facing a serious crisis, or if you just need someone to talk to. It's not just a lifeline, it's your lifeline. Call, text, or chat 988 because everyone deserves support and you are not alone. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems.
Legislative hearings are set for next week to question state agency leaders about months of delays in child care subsidy payments. The Missouri Office of Childhood has been dealing with hiccups in the transition of moving from an old payment system to a new one. Republican State Representative Brad Pollitt tells Missouri Net the problems with the system have delayed payments to daycares who are serving low-income foster and special needs children.
Catastrophic issue. We have some folks that haven't been paid all summer long and daycares that have had to shut down. Parents maybe have had to quit work because their daycare bill was higher than or as high, couldn't justify them continuing to work.
A man from central Missouri's Lynn holds the state record for catching a grass carp fish using alternative methods. On August 12th, Frank Reynolds used a bow and arrow to snag a 74-pound, 2-ounce grass carp at a private pond. And Missouri's statewide average for regular gasoline is $2.99 a gallon, down nearly 50 cents from a year ago at this time. This is Missouri Net.
Are you ready to get in the game with the Kansas City Chiefs radio network? You can win a VIP game day experience, including tickets, parking, and a visit to the Chiefs radio booth to watch Mitch Holthus in action. All thanks to Shelter Insurance. Participating Shelter agents can register you in the drawing. So visit shelterinsurance.com/get-in-the-game to find out how you can sign up.
Contact Shelter Agent Jeff Dunn in Wentzville or Chris Hansel in Overland for your chance to get in the game.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A choppy trading session with stocks ending mixed as Wall Street adds to its losses a day after the market's worst sell-off in a month. Job openings in the U.S. fell unexpectedly in July, a sign that hiring could cool in the coming months. The Labor Department reported that there were nearly 7.7 million open positions in July, which was the lowest level in 3.5 years. The job market is being closely watched by investors and the Fed as a gauge of the economy's strength. The Dow up 38 points, the Nasdaq lower by 52, S&P 500 down 9. And shares of Verizon fell over 3%. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the telecom giant is in advanced talks to acquire Frontier Communications in a deal that would bolster Verizon's fiber network to better compete with rivals, including AT&T. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Do your trucks, tractors, or heavy equipment need repairs? Hello, I'm Aaron Lee with Advanced Machine Repair in Moscow Mills. We work on heavy equipment, agricultural equipment, skid loaders, dump trucks, road tractors, and trailers. We offer 24-hour mobile emergency roadside service. From general maintenance to heavy-duty repairs, we have you covered. For immediate service or to schedule your next repair, just visit AdvancedMachineRepairLLC.com or check us out on Facebook.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, Here's Dan Byer.
Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase, who had been searching for a new contract from the team, was on the practice field today, dressed for practice, and the team considered him limited in today's workout. He had not been working out with the team throughout training camp in hopes of that new deal, but the team hopes he can play Sunday against New England. The Bills announced that safety Damar Hamlin will start his first game since suffering cardiac arrest in a contest in January of 2023 in Cincinnati. Bills take on the Cardinals coming up in Week 1. Broncos are in Seattle today. Denver gave corner Patrick Surtain II a new 4-year extension worth $96 million, making him the highest-paid defensive back in the National Football League. Commanders gave guard Sam Cosmi a 4-year extension, while officials in Brazil are beefing up security surrounding Friday's game between the Eagles and Packers in Sao Paulo. Phillies topped the Jays today 4-2. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA Rookie of the Month for the month of August.
It's 5:10 in East Central Missouri, and you're on the Newswatch PM edition. Traffic and weather together on the 10s starts right now.
East Central Missouri's News Radio KYRO. Depend on it.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a very heavy backcountry towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70, approaching Highway 79. That takes you toward Main Street. And you're crawling very heavy there, Lake St. Louis Boulevard, as you head toward the interchange with Highway 61. Now, I-64, that's crawling very heavy going westbound as you head around from Winghaven Boulevard around toward the interchange with I-70. There was a previous accident at that point, but that's been cleared out of the roadway, so everything is open. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Clear sky in Troy. Getting down to 54 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the lower 90s. Sky is clear likely. Temperatures in the lower 80s forecast on Friday. Currently in Troy it's 87. In Warrenton it's 84 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground? Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
Need that morning pick-me-up on your way to work? Downtown Winfield's the place to be. Common Grounds Coffee House, featuring the almost world-famous Block 25. Common Grounds Coffee House. Check us out on Facebook or stop by today, 205 Main Street, downtown Winfield.
You know, people keep talking about how much their homeowner's insurance keeps going up and how the prices are just unbearable in these high times. Well, let me tell you what I did. I got a hold of Dave and Holly over at Safe Harbor Insurance, and they were able to save me a ton of money on my home insurance. And it's not because I cut cost, it's because they're brokers. They made it happen for me, and they saved me a ton of money. Check them out at Safe Harbor Insurance. Give them a call at 636-668-6296 and see how much money Dave and Holly can save you.
The very latest ag news from the Brownfield Network, brought to you this hour by the Wrecking Crew in Troy, Winfield, and Vandalia. Call 636-462-1727.
Soybeans and corn were higher Wednesday. Cattle and hogs finished mixed. I'm John Perkins with a Brownfield Market Update. Stein's focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why they've released more Enlist E3 lines than any other company. Stein has yield. Soybeans are up on fund and technical buying. The USDA's national crop rating was down slightly on the week, but is holding above a year ago. Forecasts for much of the Midwest generally look dry into mid-month, and that could trim yields at least a little bit. November beans were up 9.5 at 1021.5. January's 9 3/4 higher at 1039 1/4. October bean meal was up 8.40 at 325.80. October soybean oil was down 76 points at 40.72. Corn was modestly higher, monitoring late development conditions and early harvest activity ahead of next week's USDA production estimates. Most private yield projections are close to USDA's August guess, maybe down a little bit. December corn was up 3.5 at 412 3/4. March was 3 3/4 higher at 431. And wheat was up. 70% of the spring wheat crop is harvested with quality issues in some areas, while winter wheat planting is just getting started. Export demand has improved, but Russia remains in control of the market. December Chicago was 14 higher at 580 3/4. December Kansas City was up 16 3/4 at 593. December Minneapolis wheat was 16 1/4 higher at 623.5. Live cattle were mixed, waiting for widespread direct cash cattle business. Megan Gremner will have more on that in a moment. October live was down 5 at 179.22. December was up 5 at 178.90. With that higher move in corn, October feeders were down $1.87 at 237.45. November feeders were down $1.45 at 235.17. And hogs were mixed on questions about sustained domestic demand. October was down 95 at 81.57. December lean was $1 and a dime lower at 72.70. Megan Grebner has that full look at the cash livestock markets after this brief break.
Hi, it's Andrew Hoiberg from Calcium Products. Rapidly correct and maintain your soil pH with 98G pelletized limestone to protect your fertilizer investment. Applying 98G at 200 pounds per acre provides a 9.4 bushel increase on corn and a 3.1 bushel increase on soybeans. Ask your agronomist about applying 98G pelletized limestone this fall and learn more at calciumproducts.com.
Brownfield Ag News focuses on what matters to farmers, from what's happening in the field.
Our early planted crops had a lot of challenges with water.
To ag policy.
The Farm Bill, it looks like maybe in September, but maybe lame duck because we got to get the thing done.
Agriculture is also known for innovation, and Brownfield helps tell the story.
As we look at the hydrogen economy and utilizing our biofuels industry that we've developed in terms of new uses and new opportunities.
Brownfield Ag News. If it matters to farmers, it matters to us.
Cash cattle trade activity was quiet again Wednesday. Bids and asking prices weren't established. Significant trade volumes likely going to hold out until sometime Thursday or Friday. Show lists for the week are mixed, higher in Nebraska and Colorado, but lower in Kansas and Texas. Box beef closed mixed with light to moderate demand for heavy off-range. Choice up 93 cents at $311.60. Select was 62 cents lower at $299.39. Estimated cattle slaughter was 125,000 head, up 5,000 on the week and down about 3,500 on the year. Cash hogs ended the day modestly lower with a big negotiated run. Barrows and Gilts at the National Daily Direct down 23 cents with a weighted average of 78.67. The Iowa, Minnesota was $1.25 lower with a weighted average of 77.76. The Western Corn Belt down 34 cents with a weighted average of 78.66. And estimated hog slaughter was 485,000 head, up 12,000 on the week and up about 6,000 on the year. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Trey Yingst in Kyiv.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
On East Central Missouri's News Radio, KYRO. Depend on it.
Take advantage of Quiver River's electric co-op connections. Save on prescriptions, discounts at restaurants, hotels, shopping, and more. Register for a free Co-op Connections account. Download the app on your smartphone, and you're on your way to savings. For more on this program that gives you incredible discounts on everyday expenses, visit quiver.com. Click on Member Resources, then select Co-op Connections, or call 1-800-392-3709. A tip from Quiver River Electric Cooperative.
Trust the professionals at Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions. Buying or selling, they'll make your dreams come true. Here's commercial property and development expert Rick Meyer.
Oh, it's been a great family business. My dad started the company, and we have been in business a long time. And really what keeps us in business, I think, is just working with our good customers and clients and the relationships that we're able to build. It's really important to us, our agents, to build that relationship, but provide the service to this your local community.
We are the #1 stop in the region for buying and selling residential, commercial, and farm real estate. We've been serving the area for more than 40 years, and we do it with pride.
You can reach us at and look at all our properties at MeyerListings.com. You can also call us at 636-462-5555.
Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, North Lincoln Drive in Troy, 636-462-5555. Online at MeyerListings.com.
Well, good Wednesday afternoon. This is Newswatch Late Edition with Sarge and Burgundy. Burgundy out on assignment today, and in studio with me, of course, the one and only superfan, Tim Williams. How are you this afternoon, my friend?
Doing great. Thank you, as always, for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming in and helping out. It's always appreciated. We've got a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to hold off just for about a minute because we are going to get traffic and weather update here in just a few moments. But a lot of things going on in the news world today, and then also a lot of programming notes that we're going to need to get to and put out there that's going to start tonight through, well, all the way through Sunday. So a lot of stuff that we're going to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready for tomorrow night. Chiefs football. You got to go Chiefs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm the biggest Chiefs fan here at the studio.
Well, at the
here at the
studio. I'm going to push you for that one.
Do you get all painted up?
I don't paint myself up.
Oh, see,
not anymore. So
by myself, I still get painted up. Hey, you got to have fun, right?
Oh, exactly. Absolutely.
We've got about 10 seconds. We're going to throw it to the traffic and weather, and then, like I said, we've got a lot of stuff that we are going to get to. And hold your breath because a lot of bad stuff happening today. So we'll be right back.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a very heavy backup towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70, approaching Highway 79. That takes you toward Main Street. And you're crawling very heavy near Lake St. Louis Boulevard as you head toward the interchange with Highway 61. Now, I-64, that's crawling very heavy going westbound as you head around from Winghaven Boulevard around toward the interchange with I-70. There was a previous accident at that point, but that's been cleared out of the roadway, so everything is open. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Clear sky in Troy. Getting down to 54 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the lower 90s. Sky is clear likely. Temperatures in the lower 80s forecast on Friday. Currently in Troy it's 87. In Warrenton it's 84 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground. Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Well, welcome back. Late edition, News Watch Late Edition on the air. Sarge and Burgundy. Burgundy out on assignment, joining me, superfan Tim Williams in the studio. And as I was saying before, a lot of programming notes that are going to be going on for this week that we need to get out there. Tonight, of course, at 7 o'clock, a little after 7, about 7:05. It'll be Not Politically Correct with Andrew Dodd, Lee Thompson, and, of course, C.T. Harrison, bringing you all the different things going on in the political world. That'll be again from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, Superfan alluded to it. Excuse me. Superfan alluded to it. Tomorrow night, pregame is at 6. Game starts probably I'm thinking it's probably gonna be about 7:15, 7:20, right here on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. It'll be the first game of the National Football League season. It'll be the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens, and a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year.
Yeah, it's a rematch, but the Chiefs are going to three-peat this year.
That's
We're going to make history. I'm telling you, we're going to make history as the only team to ever go back to back to back. I say, let's go four-peat.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it quite a bit. And then, of course, Friday night. It's Friday night high school football here on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO, as the Troy Buchanan Trojans travel to O'Fallon to take on the O'Fallon High School team. We'll have that play-by-play here, and then directly following, we will have Winfield taking on Wright City. They're going to Wright City So Winfield looking to get their first win of the season. Troy looking to expound upon their first win from last weekend.
So they won last weekend after the late start?
Well, no. Actually, Troy won that game on Thursday night. And then Winfield was playing Fort Zumwalt South. And unfortunately, they did not come out on the winning end.
Okay, so Troy's going for win number 2.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you can hear Mizzou football this Saturday right here, again, on News Radio 105.3 FM, 1280 AM, KYRO. I'll have to find out exactly what time that game is supposed to start. I'm thinking it's a early afternoon game, so we'll find out and we'll let everybody know. And then, of course, Sunday morning, we have got Uncensored Wrestling Talk. A lot to go over, not just in the mainstream of professional wrestling, and that'll be myself, Superfan Tim Williams, and our Uncensored Wrestling Talk senior referee, HD Daniels. He'll be in studio with us as well. But we'll be going also over the event that's going to be happening this Saturday night, September the 7th, at the Race Wrestling Arena. Some big matches that are going to happen this weekend.
Very big matches. It's going to be a hot event. I mean, I can't wait. I get goosebumps just thinking about it, and I'm just so ready to get in there. We're going to hoot and holler. We're going to show you that the fans around here can just get just as loud as the international fans can.
That's right. Now before the matches start, there will be a tailgating party that'll be going on from approximately 3 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. And during that tailgate, there will be tickets that will start to be raffled for October's, I want to say it's October the 7th. And
I believe that's
October
correct.
the 7th, Monday Night Raw that's coming here to St. Louis. And then, of course, those tickets will continue to be raffled off throughout the evening, and a winner will be picked right before the main event of the evening.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get down and see Monday Night Raw. I guess it's going to be at the Enterprise Center.
Yep.
So, the big boys are coming in town.
That's right.
You don't want to miss it. You want to get your tickets. You want to get in there for the raffle and see if you can make your way down.
And then, of course, October the 8th, the very next night, is NXT at the Enterprise Center featuring Randy Orton. But, back to World League Wrestling real quick. Fans, get your tickets now, because from what I am understanding, they are very, very close to being sold out yet again. And last month's event, we didn't just have a sellout, but it was a double sellout, where the event sold out about 4 or 5 days beforehand, and then the WLW committee put together a new little seating arrangement where we were able to put 30 more tickets out and put those out on that Friday, the day before the event, and that sold out within 2 hours of it going on sale. So get your tickets right now, HarleyRace.com.
Yeah, don't wait, because if you wait, you're not going to be able to go in. That's the way it is. It's going to be that way. It's always going to be that way, because this is the hottest, and I mean hottest ticket in the area.
Shall we go over some of these matches that are going to happen?
That works for me.
All right. So we've got about 2.5 minutes before we go to traffic and weather update again. But the first match that I want to talk about real quickly is the Grand Regent, Camaro Jackson, has requested a rematch against All Day Aiden Riley. And, we saw at the last event, these two had a match. Camaro Jackson got the win in that particular matchup, but then Aiden Riley came out with that crazy steel pipe, and he was on the show the next morning and brought that crazy pipe with him. But yeah, he used that pipe on that left leg of Camaro Jackson, and he's looking for a little bit of retribution.
You can't blame Camaro for wanting to go at him again. Again, I think I've said before, Aiden, he's got a little bit of LMS, that little man syndrome going on. And boy, oh boy, he's going to have to learn when you're a little man and you try to chop down a big redwood like Camaro, it's not going to be pretty.
And it usually does not happen. unfortunately. So I've got a feeling that there's going to be some LMS chance.
I'll be the first one to admit I'll start them.
And our fans at the race wrestling arena, they can get loud when they want to be.
Yeah, he's been known as Chicken Little. Now I'm going to start the LMS.
We've got about a minute before our weather and traffic updates. Another match is another return match from last month's event. And we've got Blade Lennox, the Sergeant at Arms, taking on newcomer Big Mike Maverick. Their last match, we saw Blade get the win, but then in the Door to Destiny Rumble, we saw Big Mike eliminate Blade Lennox, and both of them have asked for a rematch.
Yeah, there's something going on between those two, and it's definitely a new budding rivalry there, and it's going to be interesting to see who actually comes out on top in this one. I think Big Mike might take down the win on this one.
That might happen. When we come back, we'll go over the rest of the card, and then we're going to get into some serious news that has been going on this afternoon. It's a crying shame we're seeing develop and happening, but we will be right back.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a very heavy backcountry towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70, approaching Highway 79. That takes you toward Main Street. And you're crawling very heavy there, Lake St. Louis Boulevard, as you head toward the interchange with Highway 61. Now, I-64, that's crawling very heavy going westbound as you head around from Winghaven Boulevard around toward the interchange with I-70. There was a previous accident at that point, but that's been cleared out of the roadway, so everything is open. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Clear sky in Troy. Getting down to 54 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the lower 90s. Sky is clear likely. Temperatures in the lower 80s forecast on Friday. Currently in Troy it's 88. In Warrenton it's 85 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground. Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. A suspected school shooter is in custody in Georgia. 4 are dead at Appalachia High School east of Atlanta. 9 others injured as many parents scrambled to unite with their children. Fox's Steve Harrigan.
For about a mile around this school, you could tell that parents simply jumped out of their cars, left doors swinging, left them parked wherever to try and run here to get their children, not only from this high school, but from a nearby elementary school and a daycare center as well.
The suspect described as school age. The Justice Department expressing concern about Russian influencing the 2024 election.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announcing sanctions against RT, Russia's state-funded media outlet, alleging it and its workers hid Kremlin connections to spread division and disinformation about the U.S. presidential election.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America is listening to Fox News.
If you're a proud American, that means if someone comes after your family, you gotta be ready. That's why you need the Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit from My Patriot Supply. Their Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit comes jam-packed with 33 varieties of filling and flavorful meals. Not only does that include creamy chicken-flavored rice, old-fashioned Italian spaghetti, and savory cheesy broccoli soup, but you'll also get a bonus protein kit with diced beef, flavorful chicken chunks, and 3 varieties of beans. The Emergency Food Kit provides a whopping 2,500 calories per day to keep you well fed and ready for anything. It's your solemn duty as an American to protect your family without waiting for handouts. And that starts with emergency food that you can depend on. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now to save $300 on your Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit. My Patriot Supply offers free shipping too. Get your Mega 3-Month Emergency Food Kit now at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Mountain Dew Zero Sugar asks, ever wonder what it would be like to live in an alternate universe? One where everything seems to work just the opposite of the way you'd expect? Well, friends, welcome to the alternate universe of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. The taste is nothing less than outrageously delicious. And Mountain Dew Zero Sugar comes in awesomely exhilarating flavors, like Original Dew Zero Sugar, Mountain Dew Spark Zero Sugar, and Mountain Dew Major Melon Zero Sugar. Try the incredible flavors of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Zero Sugar, all dew.
Well, welcome back to Newswatch Late Edition with Sarge and Burgundy. Burgundy out on assignment this afternoon. In studio with me, superfan Tim Williams. And again, thank you so much for coming in and joining me this afternoon. And we're taking it light this first part of the program because we do have some serious stuff that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And speaking of stuff going on this weekend, we were talking about September the 7th, this Saturday, Stars and Stripes 3. We'll continue on with talking about the card that's going to happen. Tag Team Champions, Dysfunction, Brandon Espinoza and Kyle Roberts back in action at the Race Wrestling Arena as they take on the Premier, SK Bishop and Campbell Myers.
Yeah, that's going to be a really, really good match. Is it going to be for the tag belts, or is it
I have not heard.
Eliminator or something along that line?
It could be an Eliminator along those type of lines, possibly.
I like to see the Premier kind of knock down Dysfunction a little bit, but it seems like Dysfunction always has some trick up their sleeve that they always end up on top. So
and they've always got numbers.
It's in numbers, but it seems like Brandon, he has just a way of pulling out that victory.
Yep. And speaking of Dysfunction, we've got another member that will be in action that evening. None other than Jack Parker Jr. as he takes on the astonishing one, Austin Mulitalo. Yay! And Mulitalo looking for some serious retribution in this one.
Exactly. I mean, my boy Austin, he's got to hit that lightning knee. He's also got to just be focused on Big Jack Parker. Yep. Don't lose your focus.
Hits for Dysfunction, just leave it alone.
Let it go. Let it go. Focus it. Attack, 100%. Attack.
100%. And then also in action, it'll be the WLW Heavyweight Champion, Superstar Steve Fender, as he takes on newcomer to the Race Wrestling Arena and to World League Wrestling, the Natural Atlas Armstrong. So that's going to be a good one. And then also at some point during that evening, I'm not sure exactly when, but at some point I will be having a ringside interview. Might even be up inside the ring. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll be having an interview with the one Skylar Sparks, and a lot of stuff going on with Skylar Sparks as of late.
Yeah, Skylar, there's a lot of stuff in her head that, she got stabbed in the back by a friend. And I understand. I think she has all right to be angry. And
in a way I can understand that, but also at the same time, that night that Skylar Sparks had gotten basically jumped by Cameron Burnett, Tootie Lynn had other prior obligations that she had to be at. You can't be in two places at one time is basically what I'm saying here.
Right. Well, I get that, but if
Skylar's got to understand
Tootie was the friend, she would have warned Skylar probably a little bit more about Cameron.
Did. From what I understand, she did. Well, no, actually about that part. But she had told her that she wasn't going to be able to make it. It was Skylar that was questioning Cameron Burnett and her motives, and Tootie Lynn was the ones that was saying, no, you can trust her, she's fine, blah, blah, blah.
Right, so Tootie vouched for her.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah, but nobody saw this coming from, saw that coming from Cameron Burnett.
Well, I agree, because Cameron even made the save back at Night of Champions.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I guess Skylar should have listened to her inner voice and go, something's not right, but to blame Tootie, absolutely, because Tootie told her she was going to be fine.
Also, a couple of events ago, I was having an interview with Tootie Lynn, and Skylar Sparks interrupted that interview, and then within minutes after that, they had gotten into a scuffle in the back, leading to a match between the two of them last event, and that one ended in a double count out, so nothing settled.
Right.
Nothing settled at all between these two young ladies.
It's not going to be settled till Skylar takes the belt.
I don't know. I don't know if it can ever be settled, to be honest about it. Whether there's a championship involved or not. And, Skylar Sparks has been on record saying this isn't about championships. This isn't about anything except for, the stuff that's going on between the two of them. And, also she's made the comments and the remarks that the ladies division in World League Wrestling belongs to Skylar Sparks. So we'll see exactly what happens this Saturday. And like I said, a ringside interview with Miss Skylar Sparks, and hopefully we get some word.
I hope we get some answers.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. Here in about a minute, we'll go to some more traffic and weather updates. And, then we've got the serious news that has been going on today, and new things coming out about it basically every hour, every couple of hours. So we will give the most latest updates that we have heard, and we'll get into all of that, because I've got some thoughts on that myself.
Yeah, I've got a few thoughts, and it's just, again, that is just so sad of what's going on in the world, and we kind of talked a little bit off air that I don't know. It's
what can we do to stop it? That's really the biggest question.
That's the biggest thing.
But yeah, we're going to go to traffic and weather here in about 10 seconds, and then we will jump into the crazy school shooting that happened this afternoon just east of Atlanta, and we will be right back.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a very heavy backup towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70, approaching Highway 79. That takes you toward Main Street. And you're crawling very heavy near Lake St. Louis Boulevard as you head toward the interchange with Highway 61. Now, I-64, that's crawling very heavy going westbound as you head around from Winghaven Boulevard around toward the interchange with I-70. There was a previous accident at that point, but that's been cleared out of the roadway, so everything is open. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Clear sky in Troy. Getting down to 54 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the lower 90s. Sky is clear likely. Temperatures in the lower 80s forecast on Friday. Currently in Troy it's 88. In Warrenton it's 85 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground. Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
When you've got a plumbing emergency in Pike, Lincoln, St. Charles, or Warren County, call Frank the Plumber. 25 years experience, licensed and insured, and emergency response available. Call 636-236-2190.
Hi, this is Frank the Plumber. For all your plumbing needs, give me a call.
Call Frank the Plumber.
636-236-2190.
Welcome back. Newswatch Late Edition with Sarge and Burgundy. Burgundy out today, taking care of some stuff. And here in the studio with me, superfan Tim Williams. And we'll go ahead and jump right into this crazy, sad news that's been developing this afternoon and this morning. This morning, approximately 10:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 our time. A school shooting happening in Winder, Georgia, which is about 40 miles to the east of Atlanta, Georgia. The 14-year-old shooter was taken into custody. From the numbers that have been put out so far, 4 dead, 2 students and 2 teachers passing away from gunshot wounds. 9 additional folks being taken to the hospital from gunshot related injuries, and then total 30 injured altogether. They haven't really said what those other 21 to 30 injuries were. I'm guessing ankle injuries,
right? Just kind of running
that type of thing. Yeah, for sure. So, 14-year-old man. I'm thinking a freshman. Basically, it's just crazy. The way this world is starting to get to be, and it's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, it's the fact that everybody just seems to have an agenda, and they take the violence to the utmost extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't understand why we get so angry with people, whether it's over little thing, big thing. I'm sure it's big in their life that they got angry over.
Mm-hmm.
But it just goes to extremes.
Well, we don't know the story
right
as of yet of why this young person decided to take things to this type of level. I'm sure we will find out eventually somewhere down the line. But for me, everything starts at home.
Right.
And if you're a young student going through school and you're getting bullied and all that sort of thing, your first thing that you need to do is you need to go and tell somebody. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened in this particular case, because we don't know yet. But if that is the case, you've got to raise your voice and let adults know what's going on. But when I'm talking about the home stuff, it comes into play with guns. Right. And I have always been a proponent of, gun rights. You should be allowed to have a gun. Hunting, protection, all that sort of thing. I do believe that when you do have guns and you do have weapons, that you need to store them in a safe location, in a safe, in a locked area of some sort. Also, the ammunition being in a completely different locked area. Kids should have classes on how to operate those handguns safely and all that sort of thing when they're out hunting with their parents, or on all that sort of thing. But it's up to the parents.
Yes.
It's up to the parents to take care of those type of things. And I know there's a lot of times where people will say, well, we didn't see the signs and all that sort of thing. Okay, I understand as a parent myself, sometimes you don't see the signs of different things happening. But when you have weapons involved, it's on you. It's on you to separate that weapon from its ammunition, to have it under lock and key, to have that key. If you've got to have that key on your personal, keychain or whatever the case may be, you don't let it be where the kid has access to it anytime they want to get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I really concur with a lot of those statements. I mean, just having people teach their kids about this is not a toy.
Mm-mm.
This is a weapon that will kill somebody.
Yeah.
And to not respect it as that, then that does fall back on the parents.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also got to look at, I'm sure there's kids out there crying for help, and they feel like there's programs out there. There's hotlines. There's everything available for these people if they just really look, that there's help.
Yeah. And, and with that help, there's different levels of it. There's different courses that can be taken. There's different people that can be talked to and all that sort of thing. But I think one of the biggest ones would be anger management.
Yeah. Yes, anger management. I mean, and when I was young, it was always, you watch cartoons and all the violence in cartoons, and that skewed your way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look today, how many video games out there like Call of Duty and warfare games that, you're a first-person shooter and,
But that's all supposed to be make-believe. And it is make-believe.
It is make-believe. But are these kids not understanding that pulling a trigger out of your hand and pulling the trigger on a controller are two different things?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And just from seeing things, I would have to say yes. I would have to say they majority of them. I'll say that a majority of these kids and everything that are out there, they know
they
the
understand
difference.
that.
Yes,
Yes.
they know what's right. They know what's wrong.
Yeah.
So this, and like I said, we don't know the story yet on this 14-year-old student that pulled the trigger and killed 4 people, injuring, and shooting 9 others, and then in results another 21 more injured. But we've got in this country right now, we've got to find a stopping point. We've got to.
I totally agree, whether it's church, whether it's friends, whether it's just being able to talk and learn to love one each other again. And I think that's part of it, is the not loving each other.
Yeah. Well, we've got about 30 seconds before we take our next traffic and weather update. But we'll continue. We'll continue talking about this and a few other things that have happened in the St. Louis area that falls in that same line of basically what I was talking about, guns and the storage of guns and all of that sort of stuff. But we will take a break here in just a few seconds, and we'll continue here on Newswatch Late Edition.
News Radio KYRO traffic. There's a very heavy backup in towards St. Peter's along the westbound side of I-70, approaching Highway 79 that takes you toward Main Street. And you're crawling very heavy near Lake St. Louis Boulevard as you head toward the interchange with Highway 61. Now, I-64, that's crawling very heavy going westbound as you head around from Winghaven Boulevard around toward the interchange with I-70. There was a previous accident at that point, but that's been cleared out of the roadway, so everything is open. That's the latest News Radio KYRO traffic. I'm Rick Dixon.
News Radio KYRO weather from the Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions Weather Center, online at MeyerListings.com. Clear sky in Troy. Getting down to 54 overnight tonight. Thursday's high will be in the lower 90s. Sky is clear likely. Temperatures in the lower 80s forecast on Friday. Currently in Troy it's 88. In Warrenton it's 85 degrees. Perfect homes, commercial real estate or farm ground. Meyer & Company Real Estate and Auctions, online at MeyerListings.com. I'm Erica Walters.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
Call Sandy Turner at 107B North Lincoln Drive in Troy, 636-528-8443.
Well, welcome back to Newswatch Late Edition with Sarge and Burgundy. Burgundy out today taking care of some things in studio with me, superfan Tim Williams, and we're talking about this crazy school shooting that happened this afternoon and different things that we were talking about with guns and all. And C.T. Harrison, he's chimed in on the Facebook page. And he brings up a good point, and that is, if my gun is locked up in one place and my ammo in another, what do I tell the burglar? Hang on, buddy, let me get my gun. And I can understand that to a certain point, but then also, what do you do when you've got young children and school-age children? You're walking a fine line here. I mean, you've got to teach your kids.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, I mean, 14 years old. I mean, again,
it falls on the parents.
Right, it does. And knowing that these are still impressionable teenagers, and just it's so hard to put in words that, yeah, there has to be something. And I agree. You can't wait for a burglar, But if that's the case, just have one round. Don't have a clip.
Well, that's an idea as well. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's many different answers that we can come up with. The which one is the right one, the best one to go with. That's the question, I guess. But something else that happened early Tuesday morning around about the midnight hour here in the St. Louis area. And again, this is a different situation, but it still involves a weapon. St. Louis City Police continue to look for answers in the deadly shooting of a 4-year-old girl early in the morning. Police found several kids alone in a house in the 700 block of Thrush when they answered a call around midnight about a shooting. They rushed the girl to the hospital in a police SUV while one officer conducted CPR, but she passed away from her injuries. Currently, this is all being investigated as an accidental shooting. However, and this is where I get angry, the 4 children, there was 4 children involved in all of this. The 4 children alone in the home were all under the age of 10.
Yeah.
Where are the crazy parents?
Yeah, where are the parents? I would never have even considered, when my kids were young, leaving them alone with no supervision, no adult supervision.
It's crazy.
And, it's like everybody else expects everybody else to police their kids. But then when you try to police some of the kids, you get in trouble for it. So again, that doesn't work.
Well, my first question on this particular story is absolutely, why are the 4 children alone in the home by themselves, especially with them being under the age of 10 years old?
Exactly. Plus, obviously, there was a loaded weapon left in the home.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there where the kids knew where it was, how to access it. I'm sorry, but children that young, they shouldn't know how to access it. It should be under lock and key, especially if the parents aren't home. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I think I was 14 or 16 before I actually took my first hunting trip with my dad, and that was with a shotgun. But we had many a time of just cleaning it, showing me how to use it, how to properly take care of it, and all the safety rules with it before I even stepped foot in the field.
Right. I was 12, 13 years old when I went through with my brother and my dad Missouri conservation classes on how to shoot a weapon, and how, like you were saying, how to clean that weapon, how to properly store that weapon, and all those sorts of things. And I know that we definitely need more of that,
right?
For sure.
Whether it's family values or, I don't know,
it's crazy.
Church values, family values, however you want to put it. Again, I said it before, we've got to love each other a little bit more than hate.
Yeah. But leaving your children home alone is a no-go.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but those parents, and I don't know if it's just one set of parents for all 4, however many parents there are, regardless, every single one of them should be brought up on charges.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
I agree that there has to be some ramifications back against the parents, especially something like this, because it's a 4-year-old girl
that has lost her life,
right,
because of a weapon,
right.
Now, and I'm guessing it was one of the other 3 children that was playing with it, or whatever the case may be, and it could have been even her. Who knows? We don't know the entire story on this one yet either. But the bottom line is they had access to it.
Access,
and they should not have access
loaded.
to it.
And it was loaded.
Well,
or
maybe we don't. Again, we don't know the story behind it.
Right?
Was it loaded? We don't know. Was there was the magazine right next to it, and somehow the kids knew how to load that weapon? We don't know.
Yeah.
We really don't know. So we can't completely pass judgment on that part of it, but I will pass judgment on the fact that where are the parents?
Right.
So. And we have got another event coming up on September the 14th. It is the 9/11 Remembrance Day and Ride put on by the Missouri Thunder Veterans Charities. That'll be the first annual at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds in Troy, Missouri. Local vendors and food trucks will be in attendance for a family friendly day for everyone to remember and celebrate our patriotic and brave first responders. A ride will be led by Missouri Thunder Veterans Charities for all motorcycles and other vehicles, and music will be provided by Outlaw Sounds and Entertainment. No coolers or alcohol at this event, but all proceeds benefiting first responders here in Lincoln County, Missouri itself.
Nice. At times I think the first responders get kind of left out a little bit, and to have an event just dedicated to them, kudos.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So again, that's on September the 14th at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds. Come out and be a part of it. And that's a good place to start, as you said a few minutes ago, start loving each other.
Exactly.
Getting to know each other and putting differences to the side. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so sad when you hear all these news. At times I wish I had a magic wand that we could change it, but again, I say go out, love each other.
Absolutely. Well, Superfan, I appreciate you coming in this afternoon and helping me out, and we will be back on tomorrow at 7 o'clock tonight. MPC, don't forget.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Tom Graham. 4 people are dead in Georgia after a high school shooting east of Atlanta. Fox's Steve Harrigan is in the community of Winder, where several others are injured.
9 injured enough to be